A fraternity has outed a Duke University freshman who is doing porn on the side in order to pay for her tuition, and she also feels that it's something that empowers her. So she went to XO Jane to talk about the reasons why she wants to do porn and kind of do a strike back to all the people that have been criticizing her. Now, she's attempting to not reveal her identity on all of these different stories and interviews that she's been doing, but her identity is out there, and unfortunately she's getting a considerable amount of bullying and criticism as a result of the decisions she's making in her life. So she says the following: I did not expect that every private detail about my life would be dissected. I did not expect that my intelligence and work ethic would be questioned and criticized. And I certainly did not expect that extremely personal information concerning my identity and whereabouts would be so carelessly transmitted through the college gossip boards. Now, I will say I've read some of those boards, and they are revealing everything about her. Her Facebook page, her email, where you can find her, how you can harass her, and that just goes above and beyond. Maybe you don't agree with her decision to do porn, that's one thing, but to go out of your way to put her in danger because there are crazy people out there, that's going above and beyond.
Yeah, well, it's a unique story where I disagree with everybody in the story. Mm-hmm. Okay, so she says, well, how dare you expose me for doing porn? That makes no logical sense. What did you think was going to happen when you did porn? So I don't quite get her argument. On the other hand, the guys attacking her are vicious.
They are.
For what reason? So she did porn, enjoy it. I mean, go crazy, but in your private life. What are you bullying her for? I don't even understand that.
I have some examples of what they're saying on the boards. I just took the exact comments and I made graphics out of them, so we'll look at them in just a second. But she also goes into the reasons why she did it, and it goes beyond being able to pay for her very expensive tuition. She says, I can say definitively that I have never felt more empowered or happy doing anything else. In a world where women are so often robbed of their choice, I'm completely in control of my sexuality. As a bisexual woman with many sexual quirks, I feel completely accepted. It's freeing, it's empowering, it's wonderful, it's how the world should be. I'm not ashamed of porn. On the contrary, doing porn fulfills me. I saw a way to graduate from my dream school with no debt, doing something that makes me feel really happy and doing something that I love, and I took it. I have been lucky enough to receive financial aid. Oh, and then this comment I thought was really interesting because she's getting some criticism from other women.
Yeah, and I disagree with them too.
Yeah,
I disagree with everyone at this story.
Okay, so she says, I have been lucky enough to receive financial aid so I can attend Duke, but if I had not, the same sex opportunities available to you would not have been available to me as an Asian woman.
That's what Danica Liu wrote in. So now this is the triple flip side, where these are now women complaining about her having opportunities as a thin, blonde white woman, they say.
She's not blonde.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that is not available to them. Danica, I got good news or bad news for you, depending on how you take it. There's plenty of opportunities for Asian women in porn. Okay, so God, how could everybody be so damn wrong in one story? So, wait, they're bitter at her because she has opportunities in porn that they don't have. They're jealous of her opportunities. She's getting bullied like there's no tomorrow on campus. What are you jealous of? No, but they got to complain. Like, that's the super libs that are like, oh yeah, well, it should be open to everybody. But it is open to everybody. Have you ever seen porn? And then there are other people like other minorities can't be in porn. Just go to, I don't know if you, can you go online? Can you just type in porn? Believe me, there are opportunities for everybody, okay? So that's ridiculous. And to the guys, why are you belittling her? Why don't you just watch it and be done with it, okay?
Yeah.
And why are you like outing her? Like, you got her. You got her for what?
And the way that she got outed was a little sad, although if she didn't want her identity to be revealed, she shouldn't have gone to a frat and revealed it to one of the members. Okay, that's like the worst thing you can do. But anyway, she went and told someone who is in a frat that she's friends with, and then he went and told all of the frat brothers at a party, and of course, it just spread like wildfire. Of course it's going to. So just to give you some examples of what people are saying about her online, one person wrote, "Cry me a fucking river, slut. Now get down on your knees and suck my cock. Proof that you don't need to be smart to get into Duke, I guess." Another person says she gets exposed as a whore, then complains about being called a whore. You have sex with strangers for money. That's the dictionary definition of what a whore is. It's not bullying when people accuse you of doing something you actually do. And then finally, remember back in the days when people had foresight and understood the consequences of their actions enough that they avoided selling their pussy because they might be humiliated if people they knew found out about it?
Okay, so I get don't cry me a river, okay? And I might even be in that camp, okay? But why do you have to call her a whore and a slut? Like, what do you have to prove? I think it reminds me of a guy I knew in high school who said to one of our friends, oh, and I'll make up a name, the name I always make up, Sally. Sally, this looks like you've been with all the guys in this group. She said, well, not you, right? Exactly. Like, these guys are so bitter that they didn't have the sex, etc. Just, God, they drive me crazy. These guys are the same guys my whole life who are like, if a girl had sex, I would look at it as like, back when I was in high school, that didn't happen that often, right?
Yeah.
At least it didn't happen to my group of friends. Like, I'd be like, yes, good, we found one who's having sex, right? And they'd be like, oh, slut. I'm like, no, don't discourage it. What's wrong with you?
I think you're right. It does come from a place of bitterness and jealousy because they probably aren't going to be able to sleep with her. But another thing that I'll say is, look, it's the internet. So even if she was doing like Mother Teresa type work, there are always going to be trolls that are going to say something hideous and heinous about her. So that's to be expected. That doesn't bother me as much. What bothers me is when you are sharing information about her whereabouts so people can harass her in person. That is scary stuff, and you never know what kind of crazy person is going to take that information and do something violent and dangerous toward her. And she doesn't deserve that. You don't agree with her choice? That's totally fine. I get that. But don't go after her like that.
And when did Duke become a bastion of conservative, moralistic pricks?
Yeah.
Everybody in the ACC is going to say a long time ago. Okay, but let's finally turn to her, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't think the porn I was going to do in public would be outed. I don't even understand what that means. What do you mean outed? It's porn. It's in public. It's by definition out.
I know, but she's 18, right? So I don't think that she. And this is not to belittle her. I don't think that she really thought it through. Okay, so it might be empowering. She might really love it, but she had to have been aware, or she had to have at least thought about how this is going to impact her future. But then you think about who you were at 18, and you don't think into the future like that. I don't think that she thought it through completely. She might have had like a hint, but the reality is, I mean, this is to be expected if you're going to do porn. She was just too young to get herself into it. 18 is really young, in my opinion.
But you can't
You're
then
an
say.
idiot at 18.
But you can't write a whole editorial about how you're not ashamed of porn,
Yes, I know.
and then tell everybody to stop watching it. It doesn't make sense. So don't out me. Don't go and watch the porn that I'm in. Well,
She didn't say that.
I mean, look, but she's saying don't find out who I am.
Well, she's saying
It's like a movie star saying don't watch the movies I'm in. You're going to out me. Well, then obviously you're rightly or wrongly, and I think wrongly, ashamed.
she might be ashamed.
Right? So
I
if you
think-
weren't ashamed, you'd be like, yeah, I'm the porn star. Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah. But I think what she means by outing me is not only revealing her identity, but revealing where she is and how to find her as a person.
Yeah, we all agree that that's totally unacceptable. But this story is filled with people acting unacceptably.